Welcome to Business Line. Watch out, it's addictive. That's the warning that should come with PokemonGo, the new app game that has gone absolutely viral since its release on the 6th of July. If you haven't heard about it yet, which is frankly not very likely, we'll tell you all you need to know about the game, which has become a phenomenon in just a few weeks. So here is a quick checklist. PokemonGo is an augmented reality game available as a free download for both Android and iOS devices. It uses your phone's clock, camera and GPS to play, and that's it. Whatever you do and wherever you go, while your phone's screen, these little creatures spring up around you in real time and at real locations. The original Pokemon games were launched in 1996 on Nintendo's best-selling handheld console, the Game Boy. 20 years later, the company has given Pokemon a new lease of life. Within days of its initial launch, the game has become one of the most viral mobile applications of all times and the biggest ever in the US. The number of daily users has topped Twitter's, and people have even been spending more time catching the monsters than browsing on Facebook. It also surpassed the dating app Tinder in terms of downloads. So if you see people in the streets walking around staring at their smartphones, they are probably tracking Pokemons. The craze even reached the State Department when a reporter was caught playing the game during a briefing. He then complained he couldn't catch any as the signal was not good enough.
Bless you. As the Secretary said earlier today, though, and I think it's an important reminder, you're playing the Pokemon thing right there, aren't you?
I'm just keeping an eye on it.
It's an important reminder. We know this won't be easy. We recognize it's a challenge, and we're clear-eyed about the work we still have to do. This is why we convene this important ministerial, and we'll continue to work with our coalition partners to defeat Dash. Did you get one?
No, the signal's not very good.
Sorry about that.
For players, the best thing is to catch a rare Pokemon. One of those appeared in New York Central Park, and people were seen charging across the street, weaving around cars whose drivers had screeched to a halt to also grab the desirable monster. It's good those gamers stopped their cars to catch Pokemons. Many have kept on playing while driving as the virtual monsters show up on real roads. The craze has already led to a number of car accidents and forced police to put up these signs. The Japanese government issued a safety warning when Pokemons finally came to their native country.
PokemonGo has gone home. Nintendo's record-breaking global mobile game has launched in Japan, the home of the Pokemon characters. Fans have taken to the streets to play the game after its much-anticipated release, which comes more than 2 weeks after its main launch in the US, Canada, Australia and more than 30 other countries. The game's just as I imagined it to be, he says. It's really fun. It's also a great reason to go outside, so I'm really enjoying it. I want to play this game extensively, he says, but I've also heard about incidents related to it, so I'm a bit afraid. But it's Japan, it's peaceful, so I doubt there'll be a lot of incidents. Reports of accidents like this one in the US have prompted the Japanese government to issue a safety warning. 9 guidelines have been issued for those playing the augmented reality game, ranging from advising gamers not to use their real name to warning about heat stroke in the hot weather.
Pokemons can basically pop up everywhere, but there are special places in the game. The first is called a Pokestop, locations that can be found on a GPS map where players can collect items used to catch the little monsters. After that, it's time to find a Pokemon gym. These are places you can go to train your Pokemon and use it to virtually fight others. Stops in gyms can be located anywhere, and what's interesting, they can be created with something called the lure module. Once it's turned on for the next 30 minutes, that module draws in both Pokemons and their hunters. Retailers and other businesses quickly realized they could make money by activating the module on their premises. As if that wasn't enough, the app has made it into US politics. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton held a campaign event at a PokemonGo gym, announcing it on her campaign website. Her rival, the Republican nominee Donald Trump, also got into Pokemon mood. 2 days before Clinton's app-inspired event, he posted a video on his Facebook page displaying Clinton as a Pokemon getting caught. Her app type was described as a career politician that evolves into unemployed. It remains to be seen if the game craze helps either of them to catch voters. It's possible Nintendo did not expect a 20-year-old game to be so wildly popular. It now faces the question of how to monetize that popularity.
Despite being best known right now for one of the most popular games in history, Nintendo's announced an operating loss for the period from April to June. That's due to the strong Japanese currency, as Nintendo makes nearly 3/4 of its sales overseas, also because of weak demand for its traditional games consoles. Even amid hopes for long-term profits from PokemonGo, the company said software issues mean it's having to delay the launch of a key accessory until September. That accessory, PokemonGo Plus, alerts players to nearby Pokemon so they don't have to be always looking at their smartphones. How much money the company can make from the hugely successful game will only become clear next quarter when it announces results for the period since PokemonGo's release.
The game has become so popular among users worldwide that the best place to catch the little monsters is probably the news headlines, where they've been appearing ever since the launch. As the journalism think tank The Point Institute said, quote, Nintendo doesn't need a marketing department given all the free advertising. But they should probably remember the lessons of the hula hoop, pet rocks and Tamagotchis, that fame is fleeting. That was it for now. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next week.